Oh,
Okay, go ahead.
we're so excited to have us. Sorry. Okay.
Sorry, I'm at work.
No, you're totally fine. We're excited to have 3 of you here with us on this call. Lacey and I love what we do. And we hope you guys can feel that in our groups and just on our page and just through messaging and talking to you, because I was listening to a call today, and he kept referring to what he was doing as his soul's purpose. And I love the way that he defined that, because I felt like that's so true. I want to live up to my soul's purpose. And I feel like so much of that is done through coaching. It's just been such a great platform for us to share our message and try to help other people. So we're happy that you want to learn more about it. We're going to do this webinar a little bit differently than we've done in the past. We have a PowerPoint that we used to use, but we were wanting to be, a little more personal with you about our story and about any questions you may have, and learn more about your journey too. And so we wanted just to start by sharing our story with you and how we even got to where we are, because we all just started as challengers like you. And then we would love after that if we could just hear a little bit about your journey so far, and what made you join a group with us, and how were you feeling before you joined, and why are you even on this call? And so again, we'll tell our story first, and those questions can just be rolling around in your head. And we'll go ahead and get started with our stories. Do you want to start, Lace?
Yeah. And just so you guys all know, I just muted all of your audio so we don't get any feedback, but feel free to unmute yourself and ask any questions at any time. There's just a little unmute button on your phone or computer. So just so you know. All right, so how we got started. So the way that I got started with Beachbody and these programs and the challenge groups is I had just had my 4th baby, and I was in a rough spot. I emotionally was like in a dark place. I physically wasn't able to get rid of the weight like I had with my other 3. I was going to the gym every day. I was running my guts out, and I was just miserable, but I had previously worked with a personal trainer several years before, and so I was doing everything that he told me to do, and even though it wasn't working, I figured it was bound to work. So I was just basically torturing myself, trying to feel comfortable in my skin again, and it wasn't working. So I had kind of like a mutual friend, or just an acquaintance really, reach out to me and invite me to something called a challenge group, to which I immediately said no, because I was a gym girl. Like, I went to the gym. I spent literally my entire morning at the gym. That's just what I did every day. And I figured, like I said, what I was doing was just like bound to work. So I said no, because I did not think that I could get an actual workout in at home with all of my kids. And I just, no, not going to happen. So a little while later, my oldest then asked me when the next baby was coming out of my stomach, and the baby was 6 months old at that time. So there was certainly not another baby in my tummy, and I cried, and I was so frustrated, but I was too stubborn to change what I was doing. So I was then talking to Allie, and she had also just had a baby. And so we were talking about baby weight, and that's when she said something that really started the ball rolling for us. So Al, do you want to tell your part of the story?
Sure, yeah. So I had just had my first baby, like Lacey my second baby, and I don't know, what do you say, Lacey? They were 6 months old at the time. And I just was so uncomfortable in my skin. And I am not one, I'm like a pretty like aloof to a fault sometimes. Some people call it ditzy. I say aloof because I don't want to think that I'm ditzy, but I'm a pretty just a happy, positive person. I've never put too much stock into how I looked, but that's because I was always in sports growing up, and I never had to think about my body or how I looked. And all of a sudden I couldn't stop like looking at myself in the mirror and being so discouraged. And I was allowing myself to peg my self-worth on my appearance, which is not me. It's not my personality. And I just found myself doing that. And all I really knew what to do at the time was to run, which I hated, and to count calories. And I love food, so I just hate counting calories. And nothing was really working for me because, again, I didn't know what to do. I didn't really know anything about, this sounds stupid, but about nutrition, like healthy nutrition. I just focused on counting calories. I didn't even think about food as fuel or anything that we talk about now in our groups. I never thought of food that way. So I found myself sitting on the couch and looking up diet pills online and comparing different ones, trying to figure out which ones to buy. And that is the moment Lacey called me and said, my friend invited me to do this challenge group. You know, do you want to do it with me, this online group? And I was like, no, I'm not going to pay for something because I'm really cheap, you guys. I did not want to fork out money to pay for something when I could go run for free outside. Not that that was working for me, because it wasn't. But I off the bat said, no, you know, I'm not going to do it. And hung up the phone, mulled over it for a few days because, again, I was disappointed with my body and myself. And I realized kind of what I was doing just wasn't working. When, you know, I needed to help, and I needed to invest in me. And deep down, I was afraid to fail. I was afraid to invest, to pay money in something, and then have nothing happen from it. You know, then I'm either the same or worse off than I was when I began, and I paid for it, and I didn't want to fail. And that was kind of a turning point for me, because I decided through the help of my husband and my sister to join the group, and that I was going to push past that fear and invest in my health. And you guys, you can look back. I feel like you can look back in your life as pretty much a conglomerate of choices, and there's no real big one event that steers your life one way or another. But I do feel like there's a few moments that really define your journey. And that was one for me, when I took a chance on myself and I decided to move forward, and joining a challenge group, and then later on becoming a coach. Those were two defining moments in the course of my life. And so I joined that group. And Lacey, do you want to keep going with the group, or?
Yeah. So once Allie told me that she was looking at diet pills, that was a huge red flag for me. I knew enough that I knew that wouldn't be a positive thing for her or for any of us. So that's when I told her about the group, and I told her I was willing to join if she wanted to. So there's not very many things that I will do. Like I said, I was stubborn and I didn't want to change my routine that I thought should work. But there's a lot of things that I'll do for my sister, hence the reason why I'm running a half marathon that I don't want to do, but I'm doing it because I love her. And so I told her that I would join the group if she wanted to. And so once she decided to, I said, okay, let's do it, fully intending to go back to my normal torturous routine of spending the day at the gym once our group is over. Well, once that group was over, I was amazed. I not only received physical results that I didn't think were possible, but I went through a journey that changed me mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and I received results that I did not even know that I needed, nor did I think were even possible. And so, I mean, needless to say, I've yet to go back to the gym, 4 years later. But I also found a person within me that I never knew that I could be, and never knew that I even wanted to be. And so that is what, kind of was a springboard for both me and Allie, because our journeys have crossed over so much, to lead into coaching, because I saw that I became somebody I never knew was possible, that I wanted so badly for other people to be able to experience that, to learn as I had learned that fear is not fatal. That is something that held me back for my entire life. And I found an inner strength and a determination that I never thought that I could do. So that is what springboarded me into coaching, is just that desire to share my message and to share my journey and to invite others to find the same thing that I had in themselves. So that is kind of a little nutshell about us, where we began, why we're here now. And so we want to make sure that we answer the questions that you guys have specifically, so that we can tailor make this call to you and to what it is that you're seeking out. So we want you to take just a few minutes to tell us about why you're here, like what intrigues you about coaching, and kind of what led you down this path already. What results have you seen? What is your story? What is your journey and why you want to share it. So,
and why did you join a group and to begin with? You know, I'm always intrigued by stories and how people found us, and then what it was that finally triggered the desire to invest in yourself. And to I love hearing that. So why did you join a group, and then why are you on this call? Like, what, obviously you're here because you want to learn about coaching, and so we want to know why. What is it that has sparked that for you? So let's go ahead. Who should we start with?
Let's start with Amy. She's the first on my screen, so I'm going to unmute you. Amy, are you there?
Hey.
Perfect. Okay, so you're up. Why did you join a group, and why are you here to learn about coaching?
Okay, well, I think a little over a year ago, you just popped up, Strong Fit Mamas popped up on my Facebook, and I just clicked like, and I started following you for a very long time, and just kind of quietly, I would like your posts, and I kept thinking to myself, these are moms, these are stay-at-home moms, and they're working out. Why can't I do this? Because throughout my whole life, I've worked out just intermittently. I would run, or I would, get to the gym when I could. I had 5 kids in 7 years.
Wow.
And I, with each pregnancy, a little of the weight wouldn't come off as quickly, or I'd stop breastfeeding and the weight would come back on. And I just struggled getting to the gym or getting outside to run, just finding the time to do it. And so I think I finally reached out to Lacey one day, about a year ago in January, and I just kind of explained my situation. My youngest was 1 at the time. And I think you just inspired me to take a step completely out of my comfort zone, to join a challenge group with people I didn't know. But I needed some kind of outlet. As you might know, like as a stay-at-home mom, I just needed to do something for myself a few minutes a day. You don't get to go to the bathroom by yourself. You get to do nothing by yourself.
Totally.
And so, like I go to the bathroom with 5 kids and the dog staring at me. So, I just needed something that was my own. And if working out was going to be what was my own, then I had to take that step. So I did it. The first group I joined was, I think in January, and I did Clean Extreme. I was the first time I'd really ever lifted weights, and it just changed my life. I was getting up every morning and working out, and like one of you mentioned, I learned how to eat healthy. Like before, I would, buy everything that was a 100-calorie pack at the grocery store or non-fat. I didn't realize I needed to fuel my body the way I do now. So it's been a year, and I've been regularly working out and eating better. My kids work out with me, and I feel better. I see changes in my body, my mentality. On the days that I don't work out, I just feel like I'm a monster. I'm a monster mom. I'm stressed out and crabby because I haven't had that time for myself. Or I look in the mirror and I'm just disappointed that I didn't take time for myself that day. And so here I am a year later, and I think this is the most consistently I've ever eaten healthy and worked out and just had my overall well-being in my heart, knowing that that's what I needed to do to take care of myself and my family. So now I'm at the point where I feel like I need more in my life. I need something else for myself besides just working out. So I'm looking for another outlet that I can call mine, something else I can call mine. And I'm thinking, if you've inspired me to make this change for a year, then maybe, I can do it as well. Sometimes I'm in my basement working out and thinking, man, I wonder if my neighbors would like to do accountability with me. And then I'm thinking, well, why wouldn't I just be a Beachbody coach and, have them held accountable that way? So that's where I'm at. I've prayed about it for a year, and it's just been really heavy on my heart the past month or so. And then your post came up about the call, and I was like, this is it. This is my chance to learn more.
That is seriously so awesome. Like Allie and I are sitting here like smiling ear to ear, like wanting to give you like a big, huge hug. And like, I'm like feeling teary, and I'm not like a teary person. I don't know what the deal is with me these days, but I love that there's just that like confidence in your voice, you know? And I love that I completely relate to where you've been, where you are, where you're going, and that you have such a message to share, because that's really what coaching is about, is sharing that journey and that message of hope and possibility. And I totally understand needing an outlet too. I remember after my first was born and being home with him all day after, before he was born, I was working full time. I was in school full time. Like my brain was constantly busy. And then you go home to staying home with your kids, which is awesome, but your brain works so differently. And I just remember feeling like I'm getting dumber. Like I'm not using my brain. I'm not exercising it because we're like talking about Sesame Street and Cheerios right now all day long. And I'm just needing something for you that it's like that, just to fill you up. And so I love everything that you've said, and totally relate to that. I love that.
I love too. The phrase that you said that I loved so much was that coaching's been heavy on your heart. I love that phrase because I feel like I relate so much to it. When something is really, you can't get it off your mind and you feel connected to it. It's almost like you feel like a deeper purpose tied to it than something just constantly on your mind. It's something that you feel like you could be, or it's like in your I don't know, your very core, So
yeah. Love that. Well, thank you for sharing that, Amy. And we will definitely get back to sharing with you how you can share your purpose and share and use what's heavy on your heart. So that rocks. I love it. Okay, Emily, you are next up on my list. Do you share with us a little bit about your journey, like what made you join a group and what is bringing you here today?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I'm still at work teaching.
No, you're fine.
So, can you repeat the question?
Yeah, no, sorry. Tell us a little bit about what made you join a group, and then what it is about coaching that brings you here today to learn more. Okay,
so I happened upon Strong Fit Mamas, like April, May last year, and I've always just followed you guys, and I would comment on your posts, and you guys would comment back, and I just felt a connection. And I was doing the workout videos, and I was eating healthy, but I wasn't eating enough portions, so I was starving by the end of the day. So I would come home, and then I would pig out, and I would totally ruin everything that I had just started. And then I was hesitant because of like allergies and stuff like that. I wasn't sure like what I was going to be able to do. So anyway, I broke down, and you guys graciously let me into your group, and it was awesome. Like I have like a passion now that I finally feel like it's clicked, and that I have a healthy lifestyle. It's not like just thinking it's a diet. It's like I don't think of it as a diet anymore. It's just the way that I live. To the point where I never thought I would hear this, but my 4-year-old asked me why I work out all the time. I was like, oh, well, that's interesting. I lost my thoughts. Sorry. I'm trying to multitask. So anyway, I am in another group, and I just feel like successful in it. People are recognizing it that I work with, asking me questions about it. I go back and forth on the whole coaching thing. I've been burned in the past by other companies, and I'm almost there, but I don't know. Like, I'm afraid that people, because I'm still not where I should be, physique wise, that I don't know if people would take me seriously.
I understand that.
Go ahead.
Okay. I completely agree with you. That's one thing I didn't sign as a coach for a long time. I ended my first group in May, and then I didn't sign as a coach until December because of that fear. Like I was fearful first what people would think of me because I was not a nutritionist. I was not a personal trainer, and I wasn't I wasn't in my ideal shape. I wasn't what in my mind was a beach body coach, didn't have a perfect body. But since then, I've learned that being a beach body coach means that you're inspiring people to be healthy no matter where you are on your journey. And if anything, for me personally, people that I see that are on their journey are much more inspiring than people who in my eyes have already reached the end, even though there's no end, right? But when I see people at it every day and I'm physically watching them change, that is what's inspiring to me. And because perfection to me is just unachievable. And that's why on our page, Lacey and I try to be so real and not ever portray any sort of perfection vibe, because that's such a turnoff for us. And so really, if I see or hear that people are still on their journey and that's what's holding them back, I say, do it, because that's what people want to see. That people are going to be inspired. Like you just said, people at work are noticing and they're asking you questions because they're watching you. And so people are inspired by people on their journey, not by people who they think are done or perfect. Does that make sense?
That does. And I just recently changed my role in my profession to being a literacy coach. So I coach teachers, and I'm learning that because by no means am I like an expert in literacy, but I just like helping people. Mm-hmm. So I think it's just being able to motivate and inspire. I think it's the main part, right?
Totally. And to be just real, and your goal as a coach is to help people reach their goals. And you don't need to be in a perfect state to do that. You just have to be trying to reach your own goals too. And by doing that, you kind of help each other. So, yeah.
I love the things that you're doing, the things that you're learning. We've had an opportunity to chat quite a bit about your journey and where you've been and where you're going, and I love the lessons that you've learned, and that you've not only learned them but that you're applying them, and that you are putting them into practice. And that's truly what it comes down to with being a coach, is just doing what you say, and showing other people that they have the possibility and the potential to do that as well. So I totally love your journey, and I understand your frustration. It's totally normal. So we'll kind of get to a little bit of that also as we continue on with this call. So thank you for sharing that with us. I appreciate it. Okay, now we are going to move on. I'm going to unmute you, Juliet, and are you there?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Can you hear me? Okay.
We are going to ask you a little bit about what brought you and what helped you, encouraged you to join a group, and then what is that's intriguing to you about coaching that brought you here today.
Okay. Sorry, I'm also feeding the baby.
No worries. Totally get it.
Distracted, but I joined your group like 2.5 years ago. I think so. Around 3 years almost. What was even really helped me to start losing the weight and think about eating healthy and everything. Year before I joined your group, I had a miscarriage, and and when we went to the doctor, they also found that I have type 2 diabetes. And of course, I started like taking pills and everything. And with pills, I really couldn't like lose the weight, even if I work out and did stuff like that. But when I saw you guys on Facebook, I even don't know how you pop up on my newsfeed. But I think it was a sign for me. And when I was talking to you and you guys told me like how much it cost and everything, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to pay money, you know. I'm also a cheap person.
I understand.
But I was talking to my husband. He's like, but if it will help you and everything, just it's fine. And I remember also like when I started your group, we were trying to get pregnant for like a year before, and we couldn't. And when I started your group, I started with Shaolin Extreme, and I really loved it. And after a month doing it, I lost like almost 15 pounds, and I felt so good. And I was really amazed how it's not even helped my physical body, but also it's helped me emotionally. And also I got off my pills.
Wow.
Right now I control my diabetes only with workouts and diet.
That is awesome.
I don't do any pills. But also after a month of your program, I don't know if you remember, I got pregnant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And I couldn't work out anymore because my doctor told me I can't work out while I'm pregnant. But now I have almost 1.5-year-old, and I still work out and do stuff like that, eat healthy, and still on my goal to lose my baby weight. But but I think also what I'm really interested in coaching and stuff, but I think it will, if I will become a coach or something, it will also help me to stay on a track, you know, because you have to.
Right.
You have to be a good example. You have to share your story. You have to help people and give them that courage and that you got from you guys, that I got from you. And yeah, I'm not sure if I can do it, but I'm still thinking about it. But
I think that's so
I
great.
think I have something to share with people, you know.
Absolutely, you do. You've definitely had such an inspiring story, just with the heartache of a miscarriage and trying so hard to get pregnant and the frustration with the medication. I mean, that's something that so many people go through, but yet they allow it to defeat them, and it kind of defines them. But it's something that you took and you used it as a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block, and it's something that has made you and has made you stronger. And so you definitely have such an important message to share, and one that would inspire and encourage so many people. And I love that you've continued with your journey, that it didn't just end, but that you continued to do what you could when you could. And then, once the baby was born, then you able to alter it a little bit to keep up with what you can do. And so I think that that's so fantastic. And I totally understand too, wanting to use coaching as a part of accountability for yourself. Because it is definitely knowing that you have somebody else depending on you and looking to you for an example and for guidance. That is definitely helps you stay on track. I mean, that doesn't mean that there's still not days that you eat cookie dough for lunch, because that's definitely still happens. We're still real and small, and that's kind of the beauty of being able to share your journey, is that you can share, the goods, the bads, and the uglies, and people get it because it's real. And so I totally love your focus and your intrigue and your desire. Like your heart is exactly where it should be. So that's fantastic. Thank you for sharing that with us, Julie. I really appreciate it.
Thanks.
Okay, Alice, do you want to jump in with some of the questions?
Yeah, sure. So we have kind of four bullets that we wanted to talk to you guys about coaching, and then we can cover any questions at the end. We for sure don't want to take more of your time than we know you have busy lives and kids at home that, need goldfish. So the four things we wanted to cover is kind of what a typical day looks like for a coach, what your goal is as a coach, how you make money as a coach, and how we use social media as a coach. So do you want me just to start at the top of the list, or is there any particular one you want to take? Okay.
Oh, go for it.
So the first thing I want to say, though, I'm pretty sure this goes for everybody. Everyone's scared to sign up as a coach. Almost everyone we talk to, no one is not scared to jump in. And that was the same with Lacey and I. Kind of the same with me. I was scared to sign up for the challenge group because I was scared to fail. And I was scared to sign up as a coach because I was scared to fail. And what would people think about me? And thank goodness I've done personal development, and I've tried to strengthen my resolve and learn more about being a leader. And, just small daily things every day has led to me having more confidence in myself. And I'm so grateful I took the plunge to coach, because I often think, what if I didn't? And then I think about all the messages that I receive. Even one person, if you can inspire one person to feel of worth and value, wow, it's just such an amazing feeling. So if you're scared to be a coach, that's normal. Don't let that fear hold you back. Okay, that was a tangent. So what a typical day looks like as a coach. So as a coach, you will mainly be using Facebook as your platform. That's what Lacey and I use, and we found that to be super amazing. So what I do typically is I wake up in the morning, do my workout, and then I'll check in with my group. So whether I have a clean eating group going on or a challenge group, I'll just hop on Facebook. It takes maybe 10 minutes to check into my group. I try just to be in my group once per day, sometimes twice. It's easy as a new coach to feel like you need to be in there all day long, but then you feel like you're on Facebook all day long, which isn't good. Because you want to be present with your home and your kids and be off your phone. And so I set business hours for myself on when I'm going to be on Facebook. And when I'm on Facebook, I'm working, I'm not scrolling. So I'll wake up, do my workout, which is important. It's important that you're proof the products work. So I always try to, we always try to encourage our coaches to make sure you're living the lifestyle you want others to live. That doesn't mean you're perfect. In fact, it means that sometimes you're not perfect and you're sharing those imperfections with people. But you're still working out in the morning or whenever you work out, drinking Shakeology, trying to meal plan, just trying to do the best you can. So wake up, work out, jump into my groups. And again, this is how I do it. You can rearrange it how you would want to do it. Then I'm a mom, going to mom zone until nap time. And then during nap time, I have about an hour and a half chunk where I really zone in and get my work done. So that's when I will work on connecting with other people on Facebook, not selling. We want you to know, Beachbody coaches, and we train our team not to be salesmen, okay? What we do is encourage you to share your journey and inspire people, which we teach you how to do that, and invite people to join you. So I'm constantly reconnecting with people, not about Beachbody, but just as a friend. We go into more of this during your training, so you'll learn more about that. But so during my hour and a half time and nap time, I'm reconnecting with people. I'm doing personal development, which to me that means I'm doing something to get smarter. Okay, so I'm either reading about leadership, or I'm learning more about social media, or I'm reading up on confidence, or, we have tons of podcasts and books and stuff that we can share with you, but we encourage you to try to improve yourself always. Because I know for me, I went from getting my bachelor's degree, having my baby, and going straight to being home. I didn't know how to be a leader. I didn't know how to lead a team. I didn't know how to work social media as far as network marketing goes. You have to learn those things. And so it doesn't take a lot of time. We only ask you to do 10, 15 minutes per day of personal development. And that's been one of my favorite parts as a coach, is developing as a person. So that's what I'll do in the middle of the day. And then the end of the day, maybe I'll check into my groups again. I try to keep the evenings open for my husband, once we have the kids in bed, and then I try not to jump back on my phone or on my computer. So really, I'll work about 45 minutes in the morning before the kids get up, and then an hour and a half in the middle of the day. So that's pretty much what a typical day looks like for me. Do you have anything to input, Lace?
No, my day is pretty similar in that, I have chunks of time. They are rearranged differently simply because of the season of life that I'm in with my kids and with school and whatnot. But that is one of the awesome things about being a coach, is that you can arrange it in your life the way that it fits the best. There's nobody telling you have a certain quota to reach or a certain thing to do. It's all about you creating your own thing. So it can be your outlet. It can be your accountability. It can be your purpose. And so you can create it any way that you want. Now, that's not to say that we throw you to the wolves and say, figure it out, because we definitely are here along with an entire team to work together, because it truly is, just like you've seen in challenge groups, it's all about us being in the trenches together, helping to support and uplift and teach one another. And it's no different with coaching than it is in challenge groups. So that's kind of what a typical day in the life of coaching looks like. I wanted to kind of share with you what the purpose of a coach is. The reason why the coaching opportunity came around is because when Beachbody started to release their programs, they had like a message board. And on the message board, there were people on there sharing their results, sharing their tips, sharing things that they did. And they found that the people that were communicating and connecting on this message board were getting better results than people that were not participating. And so they figured, if people are getting good results, and that was their desire, their determination, their mission goal or statement for Beachbody is to end the trend of obesity. And so they saw that that was happening with people that were connecting. And so they figured, if people are already doing this, why don't we set up a network so everybody can stay connected and held accountable and supported and encouraged. And that's where coaching came from. And so our goal as a coach has a couple of different little aspects to it. One, it's just to simply connect with people. It's to help inspire and encourage them, whether they are part of a group or not. It's all about just giving, because truly we believe that as you give, it always comes back around to help uplift and inspire you too. Growing up, our mom always said, service serves the server. And it's as you selflessly give, you are filled as well. And so that is kind of our first little step and goal as a coach, is to just give and to give back to those around us and those that we have the opportunity to connect with. Secondly is then to help people solve a problem. Now, typically people come to us with the problem of health. That's what they're struggling with. And so that's where we can then learn about their goals, learn about their struggles, and then help to connect them with the program that will best suit their needs. Now, that's another thing that comes into us helping and training and the team as well, is you don't have to have done every single program to know how to help somebody. We train you on that as well. And so that's our second little goal as a coach, is to help match people up with the right program and system to help them reach their personal goals, because people come with all different kinds of goals. And then the next step as a coach, and the next goal as a coach, is to help them stay focused and accountable. That doesn't mean that you do it for them. It doesn't mean that you drag them along, because there are people that will join and then go MIA for a little while. And that's okay. And it's your job to be there and to be you and to be available to share your journey. And so that's kind of really our biggest motivation and focus as a coach, is to help people reach their goals after they've set them, and then to help inspire and encourage them to keep going. Because we all know that there are hard days and hard weeks and hard moments that you just want to give up. But having somebody in your corner really can go a long way. And that's what you get to do as a coach, is to kind of be a little professional cheerleader. And then the last goal as a coach is to then pay that forward, to help teach other people how to then do that as well, how to share their results and how to share their journey and how to share their inspiration and their message. And that comes in the form of growing a team. And so that's also, once again, something that we train and teach and help you do. And so it's just kind of like the continuation of the journey. And so those are really our main goals as a coach, is to help encourage, inspire, to give back, to match people up with a way to reach their goals, to find that contentment and that being comfortable in their skin. Third, to encourage and inspire them to continue going when it's hard. And fourth, to then pay that forward and teach other people how to do that. And so that is our goal in connection with Beachbody, because we don't work for Beachbody. We use Beachbody as a vehicle to help people reach their goals. And so our goal with helping to empower other people, along with Beachbody's goal is to end the trend of obesity so that people can live fulfilling lives, are just interconnected. And it allows us to reach our goals to help other people. So, Al, do you have anything else to say about that?
I love what you said, that our job is to be a professional cheerleader. You're not here to be a personal trainer or a nutritionist. You're here to be a motivator and an encourager. That was definitely one fear of mine when I signed, is that, you know, I wasn't like the makings of a coach because I wasn't a personal trainer. But that's not what a Beachbody coach is. You're here to motivate and encourage and inspire. So I love the way that you said that. So the last part the next part, we have 2 more points, is how you make money. Of course, everyone wants to know this. We dig deeper into this in your training, but I just wanted to make sure I touch both ways. The first way you make money is you make 25% on, if you were to help someone and they purchase something through you, you make 25% of that order. And so you can make money that way, which is a great way to make money. So for example, if someone wanted, you help someone with Shakeology, you would make $30 on that order. So there's that way. If you're wanting to make more money to like replace an income, which is what a lot of coaches pursue and want to do, then the way to make money is to build your team, which we have training on that as well. So we don't want that to seem overwhelming or anything like that. Our goal for you is to get your Shakeology paid for. So you sign up as a coach, and then we want to help you. That's your first goal, is to get your Shakeology paid for, so you're not paying for it. And so, and again, once you sign, we have another set of training that we put you through, and we tell you how to do that.
Totally. Well, and I love too that, you know, the options and the possibilities are endless. I mean, there's a lot of people that do this simply for the discount, because as a coach, you get a 25% discount off of everything Beachbody, you know, Shakeology programs, the whole bit. So there's a lot of people that just utilize the discount, and that rocks. And there's other people that totally just go for it and want to build a business. And like our coach makes $4,000 to $6,000 a week. So, you know, and there's people that make way more than that. There's people that make way less than that. It's just the possibilities are whatever you want them to be. You can tailor make it to your goals and your dreams. So the last point that we wanted to cover really quickly is just social media, because there's so many different ways to be a coach. Like Amy was saying, you know, maybe my neighbors would want to have some accountability and come join us. And I love that, because there's, you know, definitely people that love to share the opportunity challenge groups in person, face to face. They talk to people at the park, you know, or at mom play dates, or at church, or wherever it may be. There's a lot of people that love to share face to face, and that can completely be done. But then there's also people like me who's totally shy and would rather utilize social media simply for like the comfortable aspect of it, and then also for the reach, because there's a bigger audience and more people available to help inspire and encourage online and through social media. So we do utilize social media, so it doesn't have to be a face-to-face thing. We're not asking you to ask all of your, you know, siblings and neighbors and family to sign up. Like, we're not that kind of people. We truly are about helping people reach results. So, Al, did you want to say something about that?
No, I mean, I think that's good. Like I mentioned earlier, we really want to make sure you don't feel like you're going into this being a salesperson, because that's not what we want, and that's not what we train our team to be, because no one wants to feel like they're being pursued just to like make someone else money. And that's not why we do this. We do this to help people. And we help people by trying to be an influence and making a real difference. And in this day and age, we do that on social media. I mean, you know, and now for me, I'm at home all day. You know, I'm not out interacting with people. And so my platform is social media, and I want to make a difference. Like I feel like Amy had said that it was hot on her heart, and I heard earlier, you know, it's my soul's purpose. I feel for me, my purpose, my calling in life is to really be an influence and help and be a light and be good, you know, and share that with other people. And it's our goal to learn how to do that effectively on social media. And that's how we want our team to go as well. And so that's how we teach our team to be successful, is through doing that on social media. So, and again, don't be overwhelmed. We cover all of this in your training. So we just wanted to go over those 4 points. Those are typically the 4 things people have questions about. And we just want to open up to questions, or with questions from you, if you have anything. Julia, and this is Emily, right? The 618?
No, Amy.
Amy, okay, yeah. If you have any questions for us?
Okay, I have a question. When you became a coach, like, do you have, because you guys have your own page, like on Beachbody, do you pay for that, or how it works?
That's right. We do need to cover that. So when you sign up for, so I'm assuming you're not talking about our Facebook page. You're talking about.
No. Yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So when you sign up to be a coach, you have there's a $15.85 per month business fee. So you pay this like $15 and change fee, and you are provided with your websites, and also all of the advertising is done for you. Like, I'm sure you've heard of, you know, P90X Insanity before you even heard of Beachbody. Like, Beachbody puts millions of dollars into their advertising. They deal with all the inventory. So you're not when someone purchases something from you, you're not shipping it out. Beachbody does that for you. So all of that is covered in the $15.85 fee. Yeah. And if you happen to be military, then that fee is waived as well, just so you know. Yeah. So
we did talk about this too. We should probably mention, if you do want to sign up as a coach, you have 2 options. One, you can just sign up and pay. It's a $39 fee to sign up. And that will then begin, you know, open your coaching account, and then it will begin your, just kind of your coaching journey. Or you can purchase with one last challenge pack. If you decide to purchase a challenge pack, you will then have the $39 fee waived. As well as then it will then begin your coaching, your journey there. We strongly suggest signing up with a challenge pack, because that's the last time that you will be offered the opportunity to purchase a challenge pack. And we do get discounts, like I mentioned before, on everything, but the challenge pack bundle is the most value for your money. So that is what we recommend. So you have those 2 options when it comes to signing up.
Especially if you're on Shakeology anyway, that's the cheapest way to go, is to sign up with a challenge pack. Usually people don't sign with a challenge pack. They regret it later, just because it's the best for your money. So yeah, and we can go over those personally with you via message after this call is over too. So are there any other questions?
Amy, did you have any questions?
I have a question.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
I don't.
Sorry. Okay, when you sign up like a coach, what is your next steps? You know, like, I know like you guys already have like so many people like sign up after you and everything, but like for new people, like how you advertise yourself? Like what do you do, you know?
Totally. So that's a great question. So we do have training that we'll put you through, so you're not going to be left alone for sure. And what we encourage our coaches to do is to constantly be connecting with people. So via Facebook. So I'm always sending reconnect messages is what I call them. What we call them is where we're just simply that reconnecting with people. Okay. Not trying to sell Beachbody, just reconnecting, because we want people to then in that reconnection process, you can share your story, which we go over that in your training too. We teach you how to share your story effectively. So you're not coming across as salesy or anything like that. So that was the first thing I would tell you, is that you're going to start connecting with people via message or talking to people. And then also you're going to be using your Facebook posts, again, which we train you how to do this. You use your Facebook post to share your journey. A lot of coaches make the mistake of posting Beachbody stuff way too much, and it's just a turnoff for people. That's not what you want. You have a life outside of Beachbody, and you need to make sure you're sharing all aspects of your life so you are relatable to people. I'm sure if you look on Strong Fit Mamas or either one of our pages, you won't see a picture of Autumn Calabrese or, you know, any of the Beachbody products, because we try to share our journey, you know, without like blasting Beachbody out there. And really this, I hate to call it sales, but the selling that happens goes on via the private messages that you're having with people through reconnecting. And when you're talking to those people, then you are going to be in their news feed. And so they're going to be seeing your post. They're going to see you working out or meal planning or, you know, things like that again, I don't want to freak you out. We'll teach you how to post effectively. So people see your posts, and we'll teach you how to write your posts. And so they resonate with people. But it all comes down to inviting people to join you, and that's done by connecting with people first and inspiring people, and then inviting them to join you. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Yeah, because I have some friends who join you.
Oh,
right.
That's awesome.
Who I told. Yes, and they.
Oh, that's so funny.
That's awesome. Well, Austin, we definitely love coaching, and also wanted to remind you that, I mean, we started just like you guys. I mean, I think like maybe 200 friends on Facebook. So, you know, like, you don't have to, don't look at the huge long journey. All you can do is compare yourself or to who you were yesterday. So don't feel like you have big shoes to fill or big expectations. It's all about you and your journey and your message and how you can change lives, because there's people out there that need you, and only the way that you can share what you've been through, what you've learned, how you're experiencing things. So we definitely feel strongly that everybody has somebody that they can help. And it's our goal to help teach you how to do that, how to reach them, how to find them, how to encourage them, and how to help them find their own journey, because truly it comes down to their journey, not yours, but you are kind of the catapult to kind of help them along that journey. So we do everything that we can to help teach you how to do that, because none of us are perfect. We're all failing forward. We're all learning one step at a time, and we're all in this together. So what we are going to do is we will follow up with you. After, we'll give you a little bit to kind of think about this. We want you to ask yourself, you know, is coaching right for me? What will this do for me and my family? And, you know, just kind of your thoughts about what you've learned. And we will follow up with you via message in the next few days, just to kind of fill out your heart, see how you're doing, answer any questions that you have. If you have anything weighing on your mind before we're able to reach out to you, feel free to send it to us. And we definitely will get to talking about that. So we so appreciate you guys being here with us today. It was so fun to hear you, to hear your story, to hear your journey. I wish I could give you all just like a big, huge hug, because we really do love and adore you. And that's kind of another one of the huge blessings of coaching, is that you get to meet and become really great friends with people that you otherwise your path wouldn't have crossed. And you become like sisters. It truly is just a deeper connection. And so we so appreciate you guys and the journey that we've been able to take with you, and the one that we continue to get to take with you. So thank you for being here and being so supportive. And we love and adore you guys, and look forward to chatting with you even more. So anything else, Al?
Nope, that's all.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Amy. And thank you, Julia.
Thank you.
Great to hear you guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.